Hey, everybody. Welcome to Baker Banter, the sports podcast. Welcome, Trent. Welcome, Trey, on this beautiful Friday morning.
Friday morning. That's right, man. It's good to be back. We had a little bit of a hiatus because we had an early episode last week. So,
new swag, boys.
Yes,
Right.
yes. The
Unofficial.
official Orioles podcast.
Darn right.
Don't mind the actual real Oriole bird on the shirt. Thanks to copyright restrictions.
Yep, that's right.
And also, Pete, the actual real Oriole on the hat.
That's awesome.
Dude, I love it. There's
I like
literally
that.
no official MLB gear. It's just
Yeah.
all just random bird gear.
Tyler, is that a duck camp hat?
I don't know that for sure.
It's a good brand. Usually they have birds and fish hats and all the goods, but I love it though. I finally got it on Threads because we are the official unofficial Orioles podcast here.
Darn right.
Not
you
duck
know
camp.
what? I know we
not
are.
duck camp, it's stunting.
We're already at it. All right. I know we are not talking baseball yet, but guys, 3-1 or the Yanks. Come on now.
I know.
Let's go. Big series there. Another big one coming up against the Reds, but nothing better than taking the first series, especially a 4-game series against the Yankees, because those can bite you. Those can bite you.
Oh yeah.
But sorry if I took anybody's strike.
No, that's okay. But Trent, to point that out too is the fact that that's an in conference type of thing where you're 3-1.
Right.
I was happy if we split. I mean, to be honest, because the Yankees are they're a powerhouse with some of the players that they have there. I mean, it's to see what we were able to do in terms of, pitching did well, hitting did well. I mean, it was 2-0 the first game, 6-2, 4-6.
Yep.
4-2.
4-2. That was it.
4-2.
Then the next one we lost, but then today to kind of put it on them. A little nervous there at first because I think it was like the second inning. I think they left bases loaded with nobody out and did not get a single run early. And I was like, oh boy, that's kind of telling. That's not good.
Right.
And I think Rutschman and somebody else struck out. I was like, man.
Well, here's the thing.
They
guys.
came back, man.
Here's the thing: is everyone coming into this year thought that Juan Soto and Aaron Judge would be the top 2 duo in the AL East, but in reality,
It's just Soto.
in reality,
Yep, there it goes. He's taking it. He's gonna take a strike right away.
oh, is that your strike?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we know. We just might as well finish it now, Tyler. It's Gunnar and Adley. It's got to be. Yeah. Come on.
Just took my legs right out underneath me.
We're talking Orioles, man. You got to come on, man. Jeez.
So to be fair though, Trent, Soto is having a heck of a year, like an MVP start to a season. It's just Aaron Judge hasn't done anything, in my opinion. But you're right.
Duo.
Yeah, duo. Absolutely. Rutschman and Henderson are better than those two combined, but Soto's still having a good year. And what I will say is it was nice to kind of beat them after he did that stupid little stare down after hitting that home run.
Yeah.
You're losing, and then you lose the game, and you just look like an idiot.
Yeah. It's kind of like when Austin Eckler against the Raiders held up the first down sign when they were losing 63-2. Yeah. It was like, okay, dude, like, good job, man. You got a positive play, but
situational awareness.
That spins us into the NFL, boys. You're looking at the draft king daddy himself. I'm just saying, you guys panicked, bailed on the beer bet, said the rules don't make sense. That trade proposed, and of course, you guys would have owed me about 6 or 7 beers.
Hindsight, I think the position of where they are drafted does matter more than what we thought. So I'm glad we kind of changed it up. But Trent, you would have won either way, regardless if you followed that.
I think you guys both owe me a beer for just kicking butt in that. I don't know. I'm just saying.
What'd you get? 7?
7. 7 guys going to the correct team.
Right. It's almost.
That was impressive.
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
man. And
7 out of 32.
A lot of position-wise what they drafted too, I thought. So
I will say that I feel like we were pretty spot on, like within like a pick or two.
Right.
You know, obviously, you know, you have your top guys, and you know, some could say, "Oh, it's easy to do that." I also think that there wasn't a ton of surprises in this draft. It was pretty cut and dry for a lot for a lot of them. I mean, we'll get into it here real quick though. Before we get into it, I'd like to give a little shout out to Trogue, second cut. This is our first Richard Pop Top. So let's get into some football here, because they're obviously, with the big draft that just happened this past week, like Trey, you pointed out too, a little bit of a hiatus. It does seem like we haven't recorded in a while because it was early the prior week, obviously, to get stuff in before the draft actually started last Thursday. So let's get into it. Let's just kind of talk, you know, teams that you like, teams, you know, surprises, any guys that maybe surprised you. I think, you know, obviously one big surprise that really, you know, shocked the football world was obviously the Atlanta Falcons. But yeah, Trent, if you want to get us going here with some shock stuff, and then Trey, you can chime in, and I'll give my 2 cents here and there as well.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I'm going to go ahead and kind of hit us with a touchdown or turnover. Can I do that right away? Right after? Because let's be real. Everybody knows biggest surprise was night one, right? Pick number 8, Falcons on the clock. Big signing with Kirk Cousins this offseason. 3 years, $180 million. The man has made over $500 million in his career with one playoff win. How does he do it? Don't know, but he must know how to budget with that Kohl's cash. I'll tell you what. Holy hell. I'm going to go ahead and touchdown or turnover here, guys. Remember, touchdown means, yep, I agree. You're going to tell me why. Turnover, nah, that ain't happening. And then you're going to tell me why for that too. So I'm going to say that Kirk Cousins does not fulfill all 3 years in Atlanta of his contract.
Trent, isn't it a 4-year contract, or is it a fourth option?
4?
I think it's 4.
Okay.
I thought it was 4 as well.
Okay, so
but
4.
I think you can opt out after 3.
But Kirk will not fulfill his full contract in Atlanta.
Trey, go ahead.
Man, that's a tough one.
Come out firing.
So what you're saying, he has to play the next 4 seasons in Atlanta.
Yeah. He's got to.
I'm gonna say turnover. One, because is he coming back to start the season? Do we know that for sure?
I think he's on track to.
Is he gonna be able to play week 1?
Yeah, because the draft pick was, a lot of people, as soon as it happened, said maybe there's health implications about Kirk Cousins not being ready, and they said that is not the case at all.
Okay, well then I'm gonna go turnover, because I mean 4 years is a lot. A lot can happen. You could underperform. Like I said, I hate to ever say it, but that age, Achilles are pretty sensitive. You know, does he stay healthy for the next 4 years? That kind of stuff. So I'm gonna go turnover.
So hold on. So turnover, you're saying he won't fulfill?
Correct.
Right. The question is, will he fulfill?
Yes.
I guess I said Kirk. My thing is Kirk Cousins. Oh crap! Now you got me confused. Did I say it wrong? I said Kirk Cousins will not fulfill his 4-year contract. So Trey, you're actually
touchdown.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay. All right.
Yes.
That's why I was like, well, hold on a second. Yeah. I am also
please.
on the touchdown. I am on the touchdown bandwagon as well. I think maybe 2. I also do think that Trent, I think you might have been partially correct with the 3. I think the 3 years is like what he has, and there's like a 4th option or something like that. I think he's out after 2 max.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I don't think it's necessarily because of what it is, but like I think it's because of Michael Penix's age. I mean, Penix is already 24 years old. You know, like when he's coming in, you know, he's probably going to be coming into play here. I do think it's going to be beneficial to have Penix kind of, you know, see and understand and learn the game a little bit. I did see that there's, and honestly, I can't tell you what it is, but I did see that there is somehow a Raheem Morris, Michael Penix connection in some fashion. Somehow they're connected and they've crossed paths in the past. But I do think that Penix will be the guy eventually. I mean, they're a young team. They got some studs. They got, was it Drake London? You got Bijan. You got Kyle Pitts. I mean, you got a young core group here. And I mean, if you can get an electric quarterback like Michael Penix, man, get some big Penix energy in there, man, and you are 6 to midnight.
Jeez.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think, oh man, I didn't like to read the we're approaching it like an Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love type deal, because I don't think you can say that you're doing that when this is Kirk Cousins' first year in that organization. That works out when the guy that has been there has been in the organization.
Right.
And he's been the franchise for a long time. Kirk hasn't been the franchise in a long time at all. It's his first year, right? Hasn't even worn a uniform yet. Yeah. So I didn't care for that. But obviously, guys, that was big surprise. I know maybe we'll take a little time to give our own team reflections, but I'll just say, I'm not gonna lie, I was prepared to walk away from night one saying, hey, I'm pretty happy that Michael Penix is a Las Vegas Raider. And that ship sailed pretty darn quickly.
Crazy.
So that was my biggest surprise there. Are we going surprise right now and then go with teams that we liked? Or
well, I would like to comment, Chen, on your thing about the Aaron Rodgers. Oh, we're getting our guy. Like I think that was such a cop out. It was such a cop out, and it was almost like he's reaching for like, oh well, here's our reasoning for it, and it was like, here's your reasoning for it, but hold on a second. There's so many things wrong with your reasoning. Right. You know what I mean? Like it just seemed like an excuse. I think he's an exciting pick, and I don't know. I'm still not sure why it took him at 8. It is what it is, but like, I don't know. But go ahead, Trey.
No, I was gonna say I know it's gotten a lot of hate, and I don't like the pick. There you got 4 years of Kirk Cousins. If you think the talent's there in Michael Penix, his talent's not generational. It's not once every few draft classes. You can find a quarterback kind of with the same tangibles and intangibles as Michael Penix almost in any draft. So I don't like the pick at all. I think you got to trust your move that you made in the offseason that you spent a lot of money to do. And you have to beef up the positions that you don't have strength at. And that was defense. That was edge rusher. That was defensive line. Like you have gaping holes in your team. You have a good, talented offense.
Big gapes.
Gaping holes. I know. But you have a talented offense with a lot of weapons. You got your quarterback. Why waste your why spend your 8th overall pick on a quarterback that's talented but not a franchise-changing quarterback? You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. It got a lot of heat. I understand why. Michael Penix is a good quarterback. I just don't think it was the right team or situation for him to go to, or I don't know. It was just a weird thing.
Could have traded back even.
Yeah, but
could they though?
No, at 8 you take your defensive player, the best of the position that you need the most. Take a edge rusher, a guy that's going to literally change an offensive play by putting pressure on the quarterback. Someone like a Nick Bosa or you know what I mean? Like players like that. Like why not? Why draft a guy that you don't even know if he's going to play for the next 4 years? Like it just doesn't. I don't know. That's just my thought on it.
Well, I do want to move into some other surprises here too. But Trey, you said something about like edge rushers, get your defense, get your guys going. Somebody that's a difference maker on that defensive line. And honestly, you can make the argument nowadays. I mean, obviously, edge guys get all the popularity. I mean, they're the highest paid on the D line right now. But you are starting to see some tackles, some interior defensive linemen that are super athletic.
Yeah.
Right. Make a lot of money. And I think across the board right now, in terms of the defensive line, and the reason I like what you said here is I watched the interview with John Lynch on Pat McAfee on Thursday, and John Lynch, he was just kind of going through how they build the team and everything else. And I thought it was interesting because everybody knows that San Fran literally thrives with their defensive line, right? And John Lynch made the comment. He said that when he and Kyle sat down and talked about like how they want to build the team and the philosophy, he said, well, he goes, as a safety, he goes, when I had, this is John Lynch talking. He goes, when I had Warren Sapp and Simeon Rice, as my defensive line guys for the Buccaneers, he goes, five Mississippi is a heck of a lot longer than 3 Mississippi. He goes, and when I didn't have those guys there, it made my job a lot harder. Mm-hmm. and it just kind of spoke as to why he builds his team, with the defensive line like that, because it makes all of your secondary guys, all of your linebackers, your safeties, your corner. I mean, it makes their life easier if you have
both sides of the ball. On both sides of the ball, it starts up front, and we talked about before. Jim Harbaugh doesn't really he lost a lot of his talent this year and his skill positions and stuff. And guess what he did? Beefed up his O-line, beefed up his D-line, his linebackers. He knows what succeeds, and it's up front on both sides of the ball. So
we'll see,
dude. Dude, I'm telling you what, man. Joe Alt is a monster.
Yeah,
I love seeing him. I love seeing him sitting there with everybody else.
Yeah,
he just kind of looked like this like giant human in this amongst these gingerbread people.
He looked like elf. Will Ferrell's being an elf.
Yeah, like
sitting with all the elves.
Yeah,
that would have been. I saw the Billy Madison meme, but that would have been a good one, Trey.
I know.
That would have been having him sit at the desk.
Could have went viral.
Or when he's sitting on his lap. This is dad's lap. But then again, Joe Alt's dad doesn't make Joe Alt look
no.
Joe Alt's dad was also is the Hall of Famer, I think, or
I don't know.
I mean, he was definitely a pro, so he's not too small himself, but
no.
Yeah.
So Trent, you mentioned you're surprised. Trey, anything else, surprise-wise that really stuck out, or teams that, at least, kind of looking from the first draft perspective? I mean, 6 quarterbacks in the top 12. That's 50%.
Yeah. I got 2 surprises. It was the Bills that just kept trading back and letting teams take wideouts. And it was like, you guys are in desperate need of a wideout, and you keep trading back. And guess what? These teams that are trading up with them take a wideout. So it's just very strange to me. I didn't understand their strategy, if they're trying to get draft capital or not. But
especially it was just that pissed me off.
Right. It was just weird to me. I don't know. But the other shock to me was how early Bo Nix went. I thought the Broncos were going to have to take McCarthy or Nix just on their draft position alone. Think they could have got Bo Nix late first if they would have went that route, but they traded. Would they trade up, right, or did they just stay where they were? I'm not sure.
No, they stayed where they were.
Either way, spent their first round pick on Bo Nix, which
12.
Yeah, I know they needed a quarterback, and he was the next best available. Like I said, maybe just wait a little bit. I don't know. Maybe second round. Then again, you don't know.
Reasoning?
No, but I did hear Sean Payton try to act like he played. I sold that we were going to take this guy so that way we could get our guy. And I was like, no, you didn't, dude.
So he compared it to Sean Payton claims he was all in.
Yeah.
Drafting Patrick Mahomes and then didn't trade up, and that's why he really kicks himself for not doing it. And when he looks at Bo Nix, he says that Bo Nix is a Patrick Mahomes generational type potential. So that's don't get me wrong. I had this conversation today earlier, but I like Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix. I liked him at Oregon. I mean, he wasn't good at Auburn at all, but he got into the right system. But then again, people say all this, he's going to be a good NFL quarterback. He didn't play in is Oregon system an NFL system? I would say no.
No. But you could look at the Sean Payton system. I'm trying to think of when Drew Brees and the Saints. I mean, they had some wideouts. You know what I mean? And it, sure you had, running back here and there too that was pretty athletic, but
who's your wideout there?
No. I'm not saying they have. I'm not saying they have a wideout.
Because I think
I'm not saying they do that.
I think Cortland Sutton's going to be a Steeler here.
Yeah, but no, I'm not saying they have a wideout. What I'm saying is that they now need some weapons. But I'm saying if that's what Sean Payton's looking like, and looking at an Oregon, which I call it kind of more of a run and gun kind of thing, but like it could be your quarterback based off of where you played if Sean Payton has talent around him. But Trent, to your point, I don't think there's a ton of talent around him. I'll be honest with you, I don't even think Cortland Sutton is that good. Go let him be a Steeler, and he'll just sail off into the sunset, without ever being recognized as anything. I'm pretty sure as a number one receiver, he's never in his career had 1,000-yard receiving season.
Oh,
could be.
I disagree.
I disagree with that.
I'm pretty sure before his ACL injury 2 years ago, he was a 1,000-yard receiver. Stat guys, go.
Oh, that's the stat guys quick. I have a bold prediction about the Broncos, the Bo Nix needing a weapon situation.
Turn it into a touchdown turnover on the spot. Let's go. Make the
touchdown turnover. Oh no, because it's too kind of specific. You know what I mean?
Oh, come on, have fun.
It's just a bold prediction. You guys can sit there and say, "No, I don't see it happening," or "Hey, it's a possibility." All right, yeah, we'll do touchdown turnover for it. It's the same thing.
1,000-yard receiving season in 2019.
Well, there you go. Sorry. That's a beer. Nice, Trent. Good job, man. All right. Bold. All right. Touchdown turnover. Ready? The Broncos have been outwardly spoken saying that Patrick Surtain is up for grabs. He's trade piece, everything, right? I think the Broncos get their weapon in Justin Jefferson in a trade with the Broncos, including those two players and a haul on the Broncos end as well.
What? Don't even.
Justin Jefferson will not be a Viking next year. He will be traded this year.
Turnover.
So I also say turnover. If you're gonna make that trade, Trey, you're gonna have to give Surtain. You're gonna have to give Sutton. All right.
I think you give what's his name? The other wideout, Patrick. Is that his name? Young guy who's also pretty. I guarantee you they take Patrick. They'll take Patrick. They'll take Surtain, and then they'll take draft picks.
I was going to say
there's no way.
Okay.
Let me speak.
Well, Justin Jefferson's gone. He's not going to re-sign with the Vikings.
With how much
you're going to get something for him?
With how much that I think right now, wide receiver is the most coveted skill position, both sides of the ball, besides franchise quarterback, right? But that is the most coveted position. They're the highest paid position right now, besides quarterback. And I think you're going to have to give them at the very least, Surtain and your next 2 first-round picks. The very least. Hell, I'd go borderline 3 because I think the Vikings are willing to pay him. I think the Vikings are willing to pay him. I don't see him coming to the Broncos. I see him going to a different team in the AFC and on a completely different side of the country, and that would be the Patriots first. So that's where I would see him going. That's just because they've been in contact with it. Okay, but I'm telling you right now, I ultimately say turnover because I think Jefferson is going to stay a Viking because the Vikings, I believe they probably kicked themselves a little bit of allowing Randy Moss to go and do what he did. That's
exactly what I was going to say. Yes.
So I just think it's
spit all over my computer.
It's kind of like in the hockey world of things. It's like the Oilers, they had Wayne Gretzky, let him walk. You better not let what's his name? Oh man,
he's a free agent. They don't get a say.
Connor McDavid
is a free agent.
It doesn't matter, Trey. He's not going to see. They're going to offer him. He's going to.
So is every other team, Trent. So is every other team.
He'll stay.
He didn't like his time there to start. They got no real promise for the future. I would say right now.
You got McCarthy, man. I really like Minnesota's coach.
How can you say no promise for the future?
What, JJ McCarthy?
JJ McCarthy. Okay, so you drafted a franchise
Kirk Cousins
guy.
the future?
You drafted a franchise guy, and then you also have Jordan. You also have Jordan Addison, and you got honestly he was mocked in the top 10 in Turner.
Maybe because of his intangibles. He's a good leader, has the attitude. He meditates on the field. He's so grounded.
No, I'm not talking McCarthy. I'm talking the edge rusher.
Yeah, that guy was great. Dallas Turner. That was a better pick.
Okay, so you got him. You got him at 17. So I wouldn't say that I would not say the Vikings don't have a future. To have Addison and to have you also have the tight end from the Lions that got traded there, Hawkinson, and you have Justin Jefferson. Did they pick up a running back? I can't think who their running back is right now off the top of my head. They got rid of Madison's a Raider. I don't know. I'm disagreeing. Their offensive line is solid. Their defense is not the best, but they're serviceable. I think you're wrong. I think you're blinded by the fact that the Vikings didn't have a quarterback this past year, and you saw them because if they would have had Kirk the entire season, I do believe that they got a wild card spot. They actually that injury allowed the Packers to get to where they did.
I'm not disagreeing. You said, "Oh, was there a future with Kirk Cousins?" I think Tyler asked it. There was. They were successful with Kirk Cousins. Justin Jefferson had unbelievable seasons. Their offense would move. Granted, they were unlucky in some games and lucky in other games for one year, but still. But I don't think JJ.
Hold on, they do have a running back. They have Aaron Jones.
That's right.
That's right.
They did get
him. Come on, and Ty Chandler's a backup.
Trey,
dude, that's a promising team, Trey.
I don't think it is that promising.
They don't have promise. Oh my gosh,
they don't have a future.
You're blinded. Trey, you have cheese.
Justin Jefferson is not going to stick around for 30-year-old Aaron Jones. He's not going to stick around for that.
You have cheese in your eyes. You're a cheese head.
I'm just being real. Justin Jefferson is an ultra talented quarterback. He's going to get the telephone book thrown at him of options, deals, money, everything. And he's not going to stick around for 31-year-old Aaron Jones. He's not going to stick around for less than a game manager of JJ McCarthy. He's not going to stick around. I'm just telling you. He has better options.
Let's save
JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy, his most passes in a game was 15? And it was when they ran the ball 60 times a game, so teams had no idea when he was going to throw. I can make those passes. Put me out there.
Oh, easy.
Maybe with that new haircut though.
I'm just saying. I don't like JJ McCarthy. I didn't like the pick. Thought it was an excessive reach, especially for his sample size.
So are you saying more of a reach than the Falcons taking Penix at 8?
No.
Okay, real quick though. Hold on. They also still had, and I'm not saying this guy's a franchise quarterback either, but they also have Sam Darnold on their team too.
Here we go. Top 10 quarterback ever, right, Tyler?
What did I just lead? When
he started those 2 games for the Niners, he was on pace for 50 touchdowns that year, man.
No, he was not. And I hated when he was in there. But you have to understand that what I'm saying, like Trey, I totally disagree with you, dude. And I think Justin Jefferson is a generational talent.
Yes,
he is the new age, right? But I'm saying, and the Vikings would be insane to actually let him walk in his prime right now.
They might not have
maybe when he's old and gray, but at this point in time, they're going to pay him a shitload of money.
Yeah,
he's going to sit there. He's going to catch a ton of balls.
Do you understand that everyone else is going to offer him the same exact thing? Everyone is, and might even offer more than what the Vikings offer.
He won't see free agency.
Nope.
How can you say that?
Turnover.
Okay, we'll see.
Well, hey, I will just to kind of wrap this up. Biggest winner of the draft.
Winners and losers.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Well, I don't know a loser other than. I'm gonna go winner right now. I have my winner on my head. I really do think, and I know it's like, oh well, yeah, they had the first pick overall. I do think the biggest winner, one of the biggest winners, were the Bears. I do believe Caleb Williams going to have he's going to have a good NFL career. I'm not saying he's the next coming of Patrick Mahomes. I know there's a lot of comparison to the two, but I love the fact that you went out and then drafted, according to Tyler, the number one receiver in the draft with Rome Odunze. So you have taken that offense. Now, don't get me wrong, we still got to see what that coach there, because he kept his job somehow. Yeah. But you now have you got Keenan Allen, right? You got Keenan Allen. Who is it? Was it Moore?
DJ Moore.
Yeah, DJ Moore. You now have Rome Odunze. You now have Cole Kmet.
Oh, Cole Kmet.
He's serviceable. Okay. And then you also have DeAndre Swift in there as well. So I'm a fan of what the Bears did. And you know what I think they didn't do what the Texans did, like I predicted, which was trade up to 3 and get Harrison. But they didn't have to give anything up, and they still got a stud at wide receiver to couple with that quarterback. You know what I mean? So I'm a fan.
You guys love talking up every NFC North team except the Packers.
Well, Trey, I mean, we've used them so many times as like a potential 3 playoff bid discussion.
Obviously the way you guys talk about the NFC North, they got to be, right. You didn't even talk about the 2 best teams in that division yet.
I think there's one team that you're a little high on because you're blinded by bias.
Okay.
But no, I thought the Bears were the biggest winners. With a close second, I won't take any winner. I won't take any other winners. Go ahead. Sorry.
All right, I got 2 winners, and I think they're on the same exact playing field, and those both of the Pennsylvania teams, the Eagles and the Steelers.
Don't admit about the Eagles. Let's not.
I know it sucks because they got. I mean, I was surprised by their strategy. Mitchell from Toledo fell into their lap at 22, which is insane. I was reading something where he had a 5% chance of dropping to the 22nd pick, and he did. So that's wild. And then at the 40th pick, they trade up right in front of the Packers, and they take Cooper DeJean from Iowa, the next best cornerback in the draft. So they got their 2 guys in a very needed place in their defense. So kudos to them. Also, their 3rd round pick, which I thought was pretty interesting, Jalix Hunt from Houston Baptist, looks like Hassan Reddick, who they just lost. So overall, I think Howie did another good job this year. Same with the Steelers; they got their 2 stud offensive linemen, Frazier and Fatanu. Roman, what's that?
That was my second best.
Right, and then Roman Wilson, a little slot guy that's sure-handed, great, everything like that. So I mean, Steelers and Eagles, man, the PA teams, I think they got it done this draft.
We're just doing winners right now, correct?
Yeah.
I won't beat a dead horse, but I do agree with the Eagles. I think the Eagles had a heck of a draft. It does seem like they tend to have good drafts. Cooper DeJean pick, man, that angered me. Just because my team passed up on him, Trey, your team, it was just a whole mess of things. The other team, though, I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I think the Chargers did a good job. I mean, getting Joe Alt and then still being able to kind of, in the 2nd round, get a big time wide receiver in Ladd McConkey from Georgia. I like the Chargers picks in that sense.
I hate the Chargers.
I don't know. I feel like they did well. I feel like they did a decent job. So my winners is the Chargers and the Eagles. So
all right. Chargers and the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'll give you my losers quick.
From a draft standpoint for the Eagles, I'm still not sold on, but pretty good draft.
Can't admit it. My dislikes.
Jalen Hurts.
Oh, I don't. Tyler, I've been saying it for 2 years, man.
Don't forget their OC. Not good.
Huh?
Yeah. So don't forget their OC. Not good.
Oh yeah.
Who's their OC, Matt? The dude
from Kellen Moore.
Yeah,
Kellen
from
Moore.
The Eagles, right? Yeah. Or from the Cowboys. No dislikes though. We already talked about it once. I'll briefly go over it again. I didn't like the Falcons draft. Wasn't a fan of their first overall pick, but even less of a fan of their second overall pick. They took Rook Ohoro from out of Clemson, a D tackle. You have 7 better ranked defensive linemen that are proven at SEC, at Big 12 level, and you took this guy out of Clemson who is a project. And it's like, you guys don't have time to work on projects. Like, you need to win now. You need to have impactful players. So Falcons doubled down on bad picks in the second round, which leads me to think they had a really bad draft. The next one is the Panthers. Man, just the franchise just keeps getting worse and worse, it seems like. They tried to surround Bryce Young with some weapons, but the weapons that they drafted, I don't think, are the ones to do it. Jonathan Brooks out of Texas, running back, not a fan of him. I think he's just a regular big powerful running back that's not that talented. And then even the wideout, Leggett, or I don't know how to say his name, but just not Leggett. Yeah, he's just not. I don't know. At least to me, not a instant impactful player for them. So Panthers and Falcons are the big losers for me.
Good, Ty.
I'll keep it short and sweet. I think the Patriots are the big losers, to be honest with you. I think they reached for Drake May. I think Drake May has Mitchell Trubisky vibes, has Mac Jones vibes. I'm not sold on him. And for him to go at 3 where they did, I don't like that. And I also don't really care for the receiver that they picked in the second round. Pick 37 was Jalen Polk, wide receiver out of Washington. Okay, he's all right. But
from you.
I know. I mean, you got Roman Dunze. What do you do? But I mean, he's an okay wide receiver. I just don't think that they benefited. I don't think that they benefited, and it kind of surprised me a little bit because I felt like, kind of with the new coach, the new staff, kind of bringing this new kind of energy to it, like, with the former player as a coach now. I don't know. Maybe I was kind of looking for something like an Antonio Pierce and what he brought to the Raiders. It kind of confused me. I don't know. I just don't think that the Patriots made any big splashes. I feel like the Raiders made big splashes with their pick I love Brock Bowers. I mean, I know people are like, oh man, they already they drafted a tight end last year and dude, Brock Bowers Brock Bowers has potential again, kind of like Justin Jefferson we talked about, has generational talent. All right. He's a guy that could be that next tight end university guy, like your Kelsey, like your Kittle, like some of these young guys that are out there, that's generational talent right there. Mm-hmm. And for them to get him at 13, I think I don't want to say it's a steal, but we did talk about in the cast that he could have been a top 5-6 pick if it weren't for how heavily talented some of these offensive weapons were, that went early with receivers and quarterbacks and some of the needs of teams. So I think the Raiders to actually get him at, and I'm completely changing gears here, but keep it short and sweet. I'm sorry. Patriots, biggest loser.
Yeah, Ty, first off, for anybody that sits there and says, oh, they drafted a tight end last year, you don't watch the NFL then. Simple as
exactly.
that. You don't watch the NFL where you have a tight end that is lined up either at the tight end spot, right, or out in the slot. Mm-hmm. And then you also have another tight end that's playing halfback. So if you were saying, oh, having 2 tight ends, that's no. You took the best available in the draft board, which the Raiders never do, which I'm like,
right.
Oh my gosh,
It's your new GM. It's your
don't
new
watch
GM,
because I'm going to tell you, I totally agree with that, Ty, because he learned under Bill Polian, who was the GM of the Colts during their heyday, and Tony Dungy spoke to this saying it's exactly what happened with our team. He said we had Marvin Harrison. Guess what? Reggie Wayne fell in our lap. We took him. We didn't need him. We took him. Hey, we have Reggie Wayne. We have Marvin Harrison. Guess what? Dallas Clark fell in our lap. Best of it. We took him. And you know what? Teams had to deal with covering those guys for quite some time. Good luck, because I'm going to tell you right now, don't get me wrong. I love the pick this year. But watch out for Mayer to have a big second season, because that guy was another one that was a projected first-round tight end that fell And I think he fell into the Raiders' lap last year, early second round.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to put that out there. That they have two big weapons there.
Awesome weapons too, and leaders too. Like not just.
Yes. And you know what? It also helps with Devontae.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It helps him. But anyway, now I've lost complete track.
Biggest
loser. I know. Who
biggest loser.
Biggest loser. Ready? The Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
All in, comma, my butt. Right? Okay. Anyway, that was a shout out to Skip. No.
Okay.
On, don't look at me like that. You don't remember
yeah,
that?
It was a little weird.
We don't give shout outs to Skip. He doesn't deserve shout outs.
Okay, sorry, but I had to clarify that because Trey looked like I was like speaking nonsense, but it was the most important comma ever used on X, right?
I saw a meme where it was like the Spider-Man holding on to that train. It was like that comma in this tweet.
Yeah.
Like saving all those people.
Anyway, I just think they're a team that like, man, like they're gonna do the exact same thing year in, year out, where they're gonna get a good record, they're gonna get into the playoffs, they'll be up for grabs for their NFC title, and then they're gonna get smoked in the playoffs. Like, I mean, right now
they won't make the playoffs this year.
Who's your premier back? Zeke? I mean, I know it's going to be by committee, but Zeke is returned wearing number 15 because
Vaughn.
Tyler's boy Trey Lance gave up his number, and they didn't pick up his.
Never my boy.
Tyler's future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, second.
Never said that.
He better been your boy. Anyway,
third, but he was never my boy.
Third.
Oh, here we go.
Anyway,
the draft.
I just don't get me wrong. Okay, you're investing in the offensive line. You got some holes to fill there, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I think if they were gonna go offensive line, I think you take a Jackson Powers, or I think you take a Frazier out of West Virginia. I think those guys right there, those guys were still available at that point. I just think those guys are generational talents on the interior line. That you have a really good guard for the Cowboys right now that is getting ready to hang it up, guard and center, actually, to speak. So get him now, play him at guard, and then let him move to center. I'm just saying, I just thought the Cowboys were absolutely losers that night, and that's where I'll stand.
I
they didn't make any splash.
I didn't like their first pick with Tyler Guyton. I think he's a one-track minded offensive lineman. If he succeeds at left tackle, then great. But if not, then he's an awful pick. I honestly think their best pick was their third rounder, BB from Kansas State. He's an interior lineman that I think is pretty good.
He is good.
Not on the level of the guys that were available before they took him, though. That's very true. So, but hey, before we move on from football, breaking news about 10 minutes ago, I just saw Kirby Smart just got a new 10-year, $130 million contract for Georgia.
Oh.
Yeah.
They
keep him through the 2033 season, it looks like.
Heard it here first Friday morning.
Yeah. Well, they'll catch it still. I just saw it on the ticker there. I'm like, holy crap.
Trey.
No, that's interesting.
Trey. Bigger news.
Yeah. Okay.
From one of our sponsors, Dollar Margarita Month, boys. Is back. Ooh, baby. Sorry, news.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Yes.
Monday through
Friday. Let's go. Take yourself a $5 and have a night.
Man, we're gonna get plastered on $10, man.
Oh, get those Gatorade coolers ready.
Oh God, they're clean. They will not clean them from last year still.
Dude, you will not get plastered because that is all juice.
Yeah. Well, and plus we'll have a belly full of riblets while we're there too. You know what I mean, Tyler?
Trey, it's the shrimp for Tyler. Come on, it's the shrimp.
Oh man. Get a nice foundation of riblets. You can drink all the margaritas you want, man.
But how many times though? Why do you always go for the riblets?
I just think you're a riblet guy.
No, I'm not a riblet guy.
Trey, it's because you nicknamed him Riblet when he had that bruised rib that time and he couldn't move.
Yeah. So it's forever.
When he landed on a stump.
Yeah.
A little
sharp stump too, wasn't it?
A little tiny stump.
He's like, it was sharp.
There it is, guys. That's what broke my rib.
Yeah.
That's happened twice.
Yeah.
That's right.
That happened in Vermont too.
When we all thought a bear was attacking us, getting out of the car, and we look, and it's
Nope,
just Tyler.
Just Tyler falling in the dark.
Yeah.
Fighting a stationary bush.
Dude, we'll leave that one alone.
Man.
Still,
Hey,
dude, I still have a scar from that on my back.
Oh, I'm sure, dude. That was bad. It was not pretty.
But so
before we move on, I got another announcement. It's time for Richard Tinkle.
Ooh. Think trade. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you go.
What?
Nothing.
That's what we call him. Call him Richard Tinkle.
It's Richard Pop Top.
Yeah, but I don't pop ears, so I tinkle some whiskey.
You're still popping the top though.
Yeah, it's true.
Fun don't stop. All right. Well,
all right.
Hey, let's get going into the season where, boys, we're coming off of a lovely April. No fools, right? No fools there. Tyler, final record of April.
Final record of April. Thanks for putting me on the spot here. So let me find our X post here real quick.
I think I know it. I think it was 50.
In April, we were 56, 32, and 1 in the month of April. It happened to be our second best month ever in our history of gambling since we've been doing this, boys, which has been since March of 2021.
Yeah.
And you know what? In a pretty tough month, too. April's not. You got the
beginning of baseball.
Yeah, early baseball. Maybe you want to. We don't bet hockey this year, really. NBA basketball, no. So I mean, strictly early baseball season for us. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's. I think and having conversation too today. I actually talked to Richard a little bit today. Is we talked about like finding your niche with stuff. Is like, hey, what are you good at? What do you like? What And I know Trent, you've been big first five guy. In terms of total runs, I'm obviously a K-prop guy. Trey's still staying away from his niche, but that's fine. He is you're doing a nice job though. He's doing a nice job.
It's working.
He's crushing it, right? I know. Yeah. So right now for the year 2024, we're actually 192, 164, and 3. And currently we are over 211 games career over 500.
Right.
So 1,759, 1,548, and 29.
Right.
So it's kind of funny to see that. Dude, it's funny to look at those numbers because you're like, holy shit! Like, how much have we gambled?
Right.
Dude.
Hey,
so, I mean, 3 picks a day though.
You keep it fun. It's not like you're putting livelihood on the table every night. We're betting reasonably, and that's the key, right?
Exactly. Yeah, picks are free every day. That won't ever change. We have fun with it. So
and
enjoy enjoy the camaraderie of it.
Right. And the other thing that I think a lot of people, I don't know if other people gamble like this, but we bet to win 1 unit, right? Mm-hmm. So no matter what the odds are, we're always winning 1 unit, which is key because we bet some games 100 minus 160 odds might seem like a lot of juice, but if you hit it, you're winning a unit. So I mean, it's the way to do it.
Trey loves units.
Okay.
Big units.
Nope.
All right. So strike, ball, wild pitch, boys. I will break us in here. All right. I'll take the field first. My strike tonight might come off as a little bit of a surprise. It's not a team. It's not a trend. It's an individual who has yet to play a major league game this year. And that is Mad Max Scherzer.
Ooh.
Okay.
Not who I thought you were going to go John Means.
Well, it's not. Don't talk about my strike, Tyler. You
already took mine.
My strike, it's kind of a two-parter here. First part is not what he made most headlines for this past week. I don't know if you saw that he was making headlines for a certain topic that I will speak about. But I'm actually going to give him some credit, something that I thought was a pretty cool story. So he is currently doing rehab starts in the minors. All right. trying to make his way back into the starting rotation there. But one thing that they usually say is when a big leaguer comes down to do a rehab appearance, they usually cover either the pregame meal or the postgame meal for the whole entire club, like whole locker room for these guys. And keep in mind, it's kind of a controversial thing about minor leaguers not getting paid a whole lot, having to find out, they were living in like Airbnbs and hotel rooms, paying out of own pocket. So, so Max Scherzer on his last game that he started in his appearance down there, he bought the post game meal, but he went above and beyond. Okay. He spent upward of over $7,000 for the post game meal, which included bone-in ribeye, filet mignon, and lobster for the entire clubhouse. Not only that, he bought the entire team, every single player, and I believe employee for the clubhouse, their own pair of Apple AirPods. So I thought that was really cool. I thought that was respectable because the guy has just been raking in cash from teams that he doesn't even play for right now. So kudos to you. Kudos to you, Max, for that. I think that's awesome. But then here's where I'm also going to give him some credit is he, I believe, offered a great solution that I would say we've even kind of talked about on here, but even just, when we're together, shooting the stuff. The big topic about all the different rule changes with pitch clock and everything, we've talked about this, is the ability to challenge when the guys tap their helmet, a ball or a strike call, right? It has yet to make the MLB yet, but it is being used in minor leagues. And I'm still, I want to see it. However, the other big component is a lot of people are talking about putting robotic umpires back there where it's just in the zone and they call it. He was very against that. Okay, he was very against that and really spoke recently in an interview about the need for that human aspect with the umpires and behind the plate. And he said, I don't like it. Don't get me wrong. I think there's got to be something to help with the inconsistency in some guys' zones. So here's how Scherzer proposed this idea, and I kind of like it because I think umpires, as well as all officials in all leagues professionally, need to be held accountable. They don't need to be doxxed, Tyler, but they need to be held accountable. Okay? Here we go.
Hold on, real quick. Can I do a pop top? Richard, pop top. Go ahead.
So he said we need to rank umpires. Okay. Let the electric strike zone rank the umpires. Okay. Which they all have, right? The box. We need to have a conversation about the bottom, maybe say 10%, whatever you want to declare the bottom is, and talk about relegating those umpires to the minor leagues. So after you collect data at certain times, and if all of a sudden you are in that bottom 10% in terms of missed calls, then you would have to be forced to go down and do minor league games. So now I know someone say, yeah, but then we're going to lose all the umpires. I disagree. I don't believe you're going to lose all the umpires. I think you're going to say, hey, let's pick our stuff up. And these guys that sit there and make certain calls for ego purposes, I think that's going to stop. I think we're going to see that kind of go away. So, that was my that was kind of my strike there, guys. And
so
anything to add on to that?
If that does happen, does that mean then that Angel Hernandez actually will be doing like 9 and 10-year-old games because he'll be relegated that far down because that's how bad he is?
Let's hope so.
But
real quick to your point though, I do like that idea because I think it gives them a reason to succeed. Hell, and let's take this a step further. All right, and let's somehow get data on referees in the NFL, and college, and let's start to relegate referees because guess what? Now what you're going to do is now you're going to get rid of all the this guy makes these calls a lot, and this might be this. He makes these. Oh, he might have some money here. I don't know about that. I love it. I think it's an awesome idea. I think it gives them a purpose. I think it gives some motivation. I think if you're going to do this too, I do think, at least from the NFL perspective of things, you need full time. I think that needs to be an aspect of things where, finances and things like that have to be set, where these guys aren't working, other jobs and everything else. I love it. I think it's a great idea. I think the relegation, I think soccer's onto something with that whole relegation thing in so many different aspects of sports. This should be used as a motivator so that, teams and people aren't just like, well,
tanking.
You know what? We get the first pick. Oh shoot. We get next year's pick. Okay.
Tell you speak to soccer, which you and I have really taken kind of we're not, can't say I'm a diehard. I know every player, but look at Leeds United. They were relegated last year, and guess what? They're coming back up into the Premier League next year. They battled their way back. So, Trey, anything to add before I'm going to just kind of piggyback right into my ball?
I have some of my ball strikes, wild pitches deal with that. So I'm going to let you go through all 3 years, and then I'll go through all 3 of mine, and we can just do it that way. So.
Okay.
But so, I do want to comment. I do like Max Scherzer's idea of making the grades of umpires publicly known and holding them accountable to it. Create a system where if you're underperforming as an umpire, like factually, because they can prove that, then you don't get to do the big games and you don't get to do games as often until you prove yourself in the minors or vice. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. I think it's a great.
Your grade becomes public, and then also your address. Make it public. I'm just kidding.
Ty's out for blood. He's out for blood.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Guys, when you do think of it, if an athlete is not performing to par, right, he can get sent down to the minors. Right. Like, look at Jackson Holiday wasn't. He's battling. He's rookie, but he wasn't performing. He got sent back down.
Right.
And it's not that you're done. It's not that you're fired. You just earn it way back. Let's see what you do down here. After so many time, if you bounce back with a certain percentage, you get another chance.
Yeah.
So
maybe you just got to realize, hey, I'm looking at this wrong. What I'm seeing is not what should I be seeing. Maybe I got to adjust it and let me practice in the minors for a couple months. Hey, I'm accurate as fuck now. Let me go. Hey, you're back up. You know what I mean?
Don't you think though too? It's almost like an ego and attention thing. I think.
Well, I think Angel Hernandez, absolutely. He's a guy.
So here it is. Ready? The month of April, umpires. This is my ball. Okay. Umpires blew 265 strikeouts in the month of April. 265 strikeouts that shouldn't have been strikeouts. Month of April.
Wow.
I will just tell you right now, in 1 month. This was a couple days back. As of April 28th. April 28th. The most balls and strike calls missed per game. All right, in the MLB, and they've had to have called at least 3 games behind the plate this year. CB Buckner, 70 calls in 5 games, and Angel Hernandez, 67 calls in 5 games. So, like MLB, what are you doing? You're actually messing with the players and the managers' well-being and potentially their season and bonuses and by letting these guys like that everyone knows they're obnoxiously bad. Get out of here. So that's
everyone knows.
So, Trent, I know you haven't gotten to your wild pitch yet, but
I can save my wild pitch. I'll save my wild pitch. I'll let you guys go. I've been talking a lot. Why don't you guys go?
You can give your wild pitch after this, but I just want to give my ball a while because mine is the exact same. And we don't talk about these before we go on this podcast. So it's actually crazy that we have the exact same topic because I thought I had a unique topic this week and here we are.
Now you know I wanted to go.
And mine is MLB is the umpires. That's my ball. They are becoming more and more impactful in outcomes and in just the games in general. And that's not a good thing, I don't think. Your statistic trend of 265 or 56 incorrect strike call threes is insane for the month of April. Like that, you're right. That does change games. That literally changes outcomes of games, can change the livelihood of managers, can change the livelihood of players. Like that's not good for baseball. And it's absolutely hilarious that you brought up CB Buckner because I was going to say Angel Hernandez gets a lot of heat, and as he should. But there's an umpire that's been statistically worse than him this year, and that's CB Buckner. And it goes back to your Max Scherzer thing. Like, keep these guys accountable. Hell, you know what I'd even be for is post game conferences. Umpires don't just get to leave. You got to answer to the calls you made.
Yeah.
You have to talk to press, just like the guy that missed the game winning touchdown catch or game winning field goal. Those guys have to answer to reporters. Why don't you? You made an impactful call.
But it's got to go back to finances, because these guys are making millions and millions of dollars. Then you do have to. And listen, and this is what I'm saying, and I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit, because you can't just sit there and go, "Oh, okay, I know." Listen, but you can't just like, "Oh, wow, Juan Soto, you make $500 million, whatever."
Okay.
So listen, you got, if you're going to hold them accountable the same way, then you also got to pay them better.
Yes. So listen, here's the other thing. Requirement for all professional sports league referees, it is a full-time job. You get benefits.
Yeah,
you get a 401k, but you cannot have another side job unless it's like, you know what I mean? You can't, like, I agree with that, Tyler. They might not be making the money. They might need to work 2 or 3 jobs, and sure, but then no. You want to do this job, it's a full-time job, commit to it, be good at it. You're a professional. But anyway, Trent, sorry. Yeah, my ball was the exact same as yours. The MLB umpires are atrocious, and something needs to be done.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I will just say this, Ty. To umpire in the MLB, your average salary ranges from $120,000 to $300,000 a year. That's a pretty darn good paycheck to be umpiring.
Do they get benefits?
I don't know that. I'm just telling you the average salary.
Yeah, but Trent, you got to think the veteran minimum sometimes for 1 year is $600,000 for a player.
But exactly,
okay.
think of managers and think of coaches. Like,
so why not? So give benefits, but you are getting paid a lot of money to umpire.
Okay, but Trent, how many MLB umpires are there total in the MLB? You can afford to pay them, something that will make them be very good at their job, like elite,
accountable.
At their job. Yes,
accountable.
Like, if you aren't good, you have to answer to it, because you don't have an excuse. You're getting paid $1 million.
Yeah,
I agree with Tyler.
I do too. I'm just saying it's not like they're not getting paid well. They get paid well.
No,
but
I'm not. I'm not saying that. But like,
So you guys want to jump in? So
give your wild pitch, Trent.
Okay, my wild pitch.
I haven't given any, but that's fine.
I know, and then we'll go. Each person gives all 3. That's what we'll do.
All right. So my wild pitch is, it might be a little too wild for some. My wild pitch is, ready for this? Ellie De La Cruz will steal 100 or more bases this year.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's not too wild. The dude's a freak, man. He's awesome.
He's fun to watch.
You may think now he is technically.
Where's he at right now?
He's on pace. He's on pace for 101 exactly. Okay. But just to kind of say why this is a pretty wild pitch. The last time somebody hit triple digits,
Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, it is Ricky Henderson.
Yeah.
That was the easiest trivia question ever.
1983, though, guys. Wow. So that's why I'm saying this is a pretty darn wild pitch to say that somebody's going to touch it.
And it's easier to steal bases nowadays with the pitch clock, too.
I would agree.
And bigger bases.
Yep. The guy that came the closest to 100 in the most recent years was actually.
Here, go ahead, Trey.
Ronald Acuna.
No.
Good guess.
Huh. Ronald Acuna actually hasn't led the league ever in his career.
And you're saying one season closest to 100?
Yeah. The full season. The last player to be the closest to 100. I mean,
is it D Gordon?
Let me say. Let's say from 2000 on. Okay.
D Gordon.
Hey, go ahead.
No, it was Jacob Ellsbury.
Jacoby.
Sorry, G. Yeah. 2009 senior year of high school for me. 70 stolen bases is
how
what
many did Ozzie have? How many did Acuna have? I thought he had a lot last year.
I only have the list of leaders in the past couple of years. So, yeah. So, yeah.
That's a good wild pitch, dude. I love watching him play ball, man.
I mean, here's the thing: is the fact that he's even hitting for power and stealing bases the way he is. That's not a very common combination that you see. A power hitter,
check him. Just kidding.
power and speed on the bases. That's pretty impressive.
So last year, Ronald Acuna had 73 in 2023.
Okay, then maybe my number was wrong. Sorry,
Stat guy just told me that because I thought last year he got like a crazy recognition for his stolen bases. That's why I was confused.
Maybe I didn't have last year's up there. Yes,
it's a good trend. Yeah, maybe they're not.
Trent, you mentioned about what he's doing right now. Remember what I said? I think it might have been 2 weeks ago. Because last week was all draft. 2 weeks ago, watch the Reds.
Ellie.
No, I just said watch the Reds. Just keep an eye on them in terms of playoffs and stuff. And right now they're currently actually in the wild card.
We will be watching them this weekend because they got the Orioles.
They got a lot of good young talent on that team.
They do. All right. So Trent, you gave all three. Trey, you gave your ball. You want to go strike and wild pitch?
I'll finish my strike. My strike is pretty simple and straightforward. It is the AL Central this year. Mm-hmm. I think that they are. I think last year we talked a lot of crap on them, saying how bad they were. Just overall in the standings, I think every team was like below 500 at one point. Now, every team looks like a playoff threat except for the Chicago White Sox. And what I like about it is they don't have any like players that are like superstars that stand out. Like the Royals are just a great baseball team. They have solid pitchers that just don't underperform. Their bats are always good. Same with the Guardians. I know they have a little bit more talent with Jose Ramirez and I believe some other player. I'm not sure, but the Tigers and Twins are like also competitive, and it's just fun to see teams that you don't normally hear about just being successful in the MLB. So that's my strike is the AL Central. They're fun to watch. They're good to bet on because I think they're still actually under handicapped now. Still, even that'll catch up as the season goes on, but I'm a big fan of the AL Central this year.
Can I comment on that because I actually almost made something similar to this my strike.
Right.
I didn't, but right now, it's early, but as of right now, they have the Guardians right now are in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second wild card is the Royals. Mm-hmm. Third wild card right now is the Tigers. And then the only team that's a game out behind them is the Twins.
Yeah.
So right now they have
because the Yankees have to be a wild card.
The Yankees are the first wild card.
Okay, gotcha.
But I'm saying under that it goes Royals, Tigers, Twins.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The Central is killing it. And last year,
I would say the Tigers and the Royals are the ones that really surprised me.
The Royals for sure. The Twins, the Twins were expected to kind of be good because they have a good pitching staff and stuff. But the Royals and Tigers are
Twins got rid of a lot of their pitching though. They got rid of Sonny Gray.
And they still have some solid guys that I like to bet on.
Pablo Lopez. They got Joe Ryan.
Can I add one thing? I do believe the Royals have a very, very similar feel to what the Orioles did last year.
Yes. Yep.
Very good young pitching staff. I think you commented on, but they can hit the ball too, and they play good defense. And that's Orioles had some no-name pitchers that made some names for themselves last year, and then they had young talent. They had young talent out in the field. So I like that.
Yeah, they got Bobby Witt Jr., who is going to be a perennial all-star. Even Vinny Pasquantino.
That's tough.
Pasquantino. He's
first
great.
Baseman.
Great little first baseman. MJ Melendez,
big first baseman. Not a little.
Well, I mean, like he flies under the radar. That's what I meant. It's little, but that's my strike. And
Perez is still back behind the plate.
And he's solid, dude.
He's just a hitter. He's a professional hitter, man.
He's like Yadier Molina.
Yeah, very good comparison.
It's just a catcher or Jed Posey or no Jed
Buster Posey.
Buster Posey. Sorry.
Naming your friends on here, Trey.
That's what. Yeah, that's what.
Shout out Jed Posey.
Yeah, good guy. No, Buster Posey, same thing. Leader behind the plate for years, just would always get on base. You got to have those guys, and I feel like that's what Rutschman's going to be. But anyway, wild pitch. goes back to the topic that we've been discussing with baseball. I say within 10 years, the MLB will go to automatic behind the plate umpire strikes and balls. Hear me out. The strikes and balls are gonna be called by a computer. It's gonna be factual. There's no arguing it, anything. They're still gonna have a live home plate umpire getting the call that has to just physically make it. So it's gonna keep the human aspect.
Gets it in the ear.
Or exactly. Ball, strike, ball, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Foul tip. It's going to be automatically known, so you can't argue it. It's going to keep games moving faster. But yeah, I think
do they do away with the pitch clock then?
No. Keep the pitch clock. They're going to have an umpire behind the plate still. Don't get me wrong, they will, and he's going to make the call, but it's going to be given to him. He's not going to be making it himself.
I think you're taking it. I mean, I don't know.
Todd, we just complained about umpires for how long, and how they're impacting games.
Yeah, but I don't like the automated aspect of it. Like,
but you still have
like that's total. No, you're just a machine that's listening. Like
So you're complaining about accurate balls and strikes, and then when we come up with a perfect solution to accurate balls and strikes, you don't like it.
It's not a perfect solution.
Why? How is it not perfect?
Here's what I don't. I don't like this. I don't like automation. I like the human aspect of baseball. I like
you still have it.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You're just like
you have an umpire calling it. You just can't argue it because it's factual. What it is what it is.
Which takes a different part of the game out, and that's arguing.
But you're complaining about that part, Tyler. We just spent time complaining about that part of the game.
No. What?
Yes, we did. We just said umpires need to be held accountable because they're making too many mistakes.
Accountability.
So take that away.
No.
Tyler, you're not making sense to me.
Nope, I don't like
it. I like the fact that, I mean, you might as well. They already use the zone on TV. Like, you might as well just have it and say, "Yep, strike ball." But now you're still making the calls at the plate for out and safe, and check swing, foul tip, things like that.
Still got to control the teams that are arguing, bickering.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I would say a step before that might be allowing the challenge to see how much that delays the game, because in reality, everything that they put in place is to speed the game up nowadays,
right,
and make it more like quick and engaging and everything. So I'd be interested to see if they add the challenge for a season or two. The reason I tap my head is because that's how they signal for it. I'm not an idiot or anything, but yes,
to add on,
I would incorporate that.
My wild pitch said within 10 years.
Yep.
So they might incorporate that before they do it.
Yeah.
But you also said the point of that is to speed the game up. So eliminate challenges altogether. You can't even argue it. What the call is, it's a fact, right?
Yeah. Well, they do go to the computer when they challenge it. Like, they don't go to the umpire.
Yeah, so eliminate it. Just take out the middle. Make it a simplified game.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing.
And have someone behind the plate still making the calls in live time for the pitcher, the field, the fans, everything.
I think my part of it, it would be changing the human aspect for sure, and the human error aspect. Because here's the thing: is you're not.
Isn't that what we want as gamblers? Take out the stupid pass interference calls. Take out the stupid strike three calls that ruin games and ruin guys. I
don't disagree. I like it.
All right,
Tyler does.
Everybody's
that's a fair argument. It's a fair argument, Trey. That's a fair argument.
Let's keep the game true, factually true.
All right. So you guys have kind of led me into my realm of not a strike, but a ball.
Oh, here we go.
All right, something that I hate. All right, and it is a singular person. And his name's Robert. And his name's Robert Manfred.
Wow. Oh,
Commissioner. Yes. Not a fan. All right. And my ball is Robert Manfred because of blackouts. Do away with the blackouts. Let the people watch.
I agree.
Let them watch their games. Let them watch their teams. This blackout stuff is bullcrap. All right. And obviously I'm speaking about it firsthand as an Orioles fan right now because I can't watch my games in a certain aspect. I have to find ways to watch it, which we won't talk about. But it's frustrating. It's frustrating. The blackout thing is so frustrating. And I know that, with the ticket and local teams and stuff, it happens. I hate it. The blackouts need to stop.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Ty, you could pay $100 or however many hundreds of dollars for the MLB pass or whatever, and you still get disrupted with blackouts.
Yes, that's my issue. If you're gonna offer this from your league, the MLB is gonna offer, hey, buy our package of this game, and this game. All right, then stop blacking the game out and let the people watch it.
Mm-hmm. Who doesn't black game out?
That's my ball.
You know who doesn't do that?
Who?
YouTube TV and the NFL ticket, baby.
That's good.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, and honestly, then the reason I said that you guys have kind of led me into
May 16th.
Okay, you gotta remind me. Sorry.
I didn't get it yet.
I got it. I just got it today.
This is why I say, how'd you get it if you already had it?
What do you mean?
So it's not just for new users.
Side convo. Stay on track with your ball.
So yeah. So Robert Manfred having the games to be blacked out. It's frustrating to me because again, if you're offering the games, all right, and I think that what they want is they want to attract fans. They want to keep engagement. They want to bring the youth in. They want let the kids watch their teams. Let the people watch their games. Like if we gotta speed the game up because of the fans. That's my point though. Like so then let them watch their games and stop blacking out. And heck, and let's be honest. All right, all three of us right now would actually have spent $180 for the MLB's package
if we knew we could watch the Orioles.
If the Orioles games weren't blacked out, right. But because they're blacked out in our area, I'm not spending $180.
No, why would you?
So right there, that's over $500 some dollars that you would have gotten right there from just, and I know that's dropping the hat. But like, put that in perspective. That's over $500 right there from just three people that aren't going to buy your little MLB bullcrap because you black the games out that we want to watch. So stop the blackouts. That's my ball.
Good. I agree. I have nothing to add other than I agree.
Very passionate, and I echo it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And Tyler, add on to that. Masson needs to team up and include YouTube in their streaming for their app.
Yes. That's crazy. YouTube TV is growing and growing and growing in popularity, especially in this area. It's only a matter of time. That's the way I look at it, because enough people will complain, and guess what? Squeaky wheel gets the grease, boys.
We're trying. We're tweeting.
Better be extra greasy.
No, extra squeaky.
But they're gonna grease it up for us.
You're extra squeaky. Yeah. So.
I don't even know what to say to that.
It's a good saying.
Just keep rolling with that extra
nothing.
Keep squeaking, boys.
Nothing even to say. So
greasy for ya.
So,
what's your wild or ball or wild?
I'll go to my strike. I mean, I know that, like I said, Trent kind of alluded to it, but my strike was the 1-2 punch of Rutschman and Gunnar. Right now, Rutschman sits at batting. His batting average is .311. Gunnar, I think he went 0 for 4 on Thursday, so he's back down to .281, but he was actually over 300 prior to that. But, dude, 1-2 punch of those two. So, like I said, that was going to be my strike. Real quick, I'll just kind of pivot a little bit into just something else that I do like, and that is a pitcher by the name of Sale. That has been one of my gambling go-tos lately. Both
Chris
overs, both unders. Chris Sale is my guy right now. I'm finding it. He's kind of how Spencer Strider was for me with the Braves before Spencer Strider started literally throwing 12 strikeouts a game, where they were kind of capping Strider at like 6.5, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's get this, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, let's cap Strider at 10.5 strikeouts. It's like, oh,
and he
okay.
would still hit, and he would still hit.
Oh, I know, and I was always like, oh, definitely under. But he's
Yeah.
like, oh, let's get 13 this game, let's get 15. It's like, okay, but no, right now, Chris Sale's my strike in terms of my pitcher. He's been, I think I'm 3-0 with Chris Sale on betting him. I have been keeping track of my K props and who pitches when and all that other fun stuff. So right now I'm actually 3-0 with Chris Sale. So that's my strike.
And Tyler, he has been historically a filthy pitcher. Just went through like a 3-year stretch of like health issues and problems.
He was
coming
bad
back
last year.
Right, but now he had a whole year to recover and prepare without any injuries. And look at him; he's killing it. He's nasty.
The other one I almost made, and I couldn't because I hate the Yankees. The other strike guy to watch, and he's not a starting pitcher, but he's a closer. And I watched him against the Orioles for the first time last night. Was that Holmes guy?
Clay Holmes, yeah.
Oh man, he's nasty.
Well, yeah, and that's
nasty.
Ty, little interesting news about Strider. The real reason he's out is these new Fanatics jerseys. They wouldn't hold up against his quads. They kept snapping through the pants. It was nuts.
They're gonna say it's like nuts or something.
Dude, that's weird, Trey. Why would you even think nuts?
Like, because that's what the complaint was about the pants was the privates, Trent.
No, I said they couldn't hold his quads. Man.
Hold on. So you just say nuts, and now you go revert back to privates?
Yeah.
Like what? Like how old are we here?
Trent's talking about Strider's lower body with these
quads,
pants.
Not his nuts.
Okay.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
Baby ears Trey over there talking about privates.
Watch your dinghy.
All right. So I guess what? I got to give my wild pitch, huh?
Yeah.
So
before you
wild. Yeah.
Ooh.
Good. Whoa,
man. That was a pop, a ting tang, and a tinkle. All in one.
Just don't break your glass there.
Yeah. Richard pop, ting, ting, and a tinkle.
Whoa.
I don't know why we're calling them ting ting.
Is it like ting ting?
They got like a clunky.
And just to clarify for all the listeners, Richard is our most loyal listener.
Ooh.
Okay. Not our. Yeah. He's been with us from day one.
Absolutely is.
Yeah, he's been with us from day one.
Listens to complete episodes, comments on them.
Hey, keep posting those tickets. I like that.
See you, Richard.
Yep. Hey, cheers to Richard, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, so my wild pitch here. My wild pitch is, you guys ready? You ready for this? The Oakland A's. The Oakland A's now. Now listen, I'm not saying they're gonna make the playoffs.
Okay.
I'm not saying that. Not saying that. But I will say that I'm gonna say the Oakland A's end with a winning record.
Wow. That's even also wild.
That's right? That's over the backstop wild.
Dude, they're 15-17 right now. All right. Nowhere near the worst in MLB, which actually happens to be the Rockies at 7-24.
Really? They're worse than the White Sox.
Oh, no. No, you're right.
Third worst. I think third.
White Sox are 6-25. I'm sorry. So Rockies are second. White Sox are worse. Yes. Yeah. I don't know. Don't know what it is about the A's. They've just finding ways to win right now. I will say keep an eye out. He's the guy I'm looking at in terms of betting for today. JP Sears. JP Sears has been throwing good amount of strikes. So he's a guy I have been actually liking to kind of cap and watch. But yeah, the Oakland A's, I'm going to say the Oakland A's have a winning record is my wild pitch. Again, that winning record may just be one game. But it's still winning.
That's technically, yeah.
So that's where I'm going with it. But
I have to add something back to mine, guys. I have to have a little stat correction. So Trey, I was looking at the wrong league when I said about Acuna Acuna not leading. He has led multiple times. And Henderson was the incorrect answer, Tyler.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Was it Ichiro?
No, this is Vince Coleman had 109 stolen bases for the St. Louis Cardinals back in 1987. So stat guys were in my ear.
Wow.
They were telling me to check that.
Thank you, stat guys. They're great guys.
But Trey, you are correct. Acuna had 73. That is most recent. That was last year. Okay. That's why he was recognized. That was NL. NL. Sorry. So just want to throw that in there. But
yeah.
Man, hey, one thing I will, Trey, I'll put it back out there on the table. I will beer bet you that the Astros don't make the playoffs.
You're offering me that?
I'm saying the Astros won't make the playoffs because you said they will.
You all right?
Yeah, man. You okay over there? You?
I'm thinking about that. That's man.
Greasing those wheels up.
Can we wait another week? I'm gonna wait another week on that.
Oh my gosh. He got mad at me for waiting a week, and now you are doing that. No.
Now. Oh, weird. Oh, weird how that works. So now you don't like it? You don't like it now?
Let's go.
You don't like it?
We're a month in. We're over a month in. Let's go.
I want to wait a week.
Wow.
Unless you'll give me like a 5.5 game cushion on the playoffs. Spread.
That doesn't even make any sense.
No, as long as they're less than 5.5 games back.
No, it's in or out, Trey.
Okay, well, no, then I don't want to do it yet.
Not even a wild card. Wow, okay. That's a bold bet for me.
No, it's not. You're acting like it is, and it's not.
Oh.
So now I want to wait a week, and all of a sudden it's unreasonable.
I just find that it's interesting, but it's just.
Yeah, well, it's not a smart bet right now for me, so I want to wait.
I know, because they're bad.
Hunter Brown is bad. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
A guy that should not be. He is
bad, Todd. Don't you dare bet on his K props. He's got like a 13 ERA.
Okay, Trent. No, he gets a lot of Ks. That's fine. That's fine.
No, he
doesn't. He does strike. Yes, he does. He strikes out a lot of people. Okay. He does. It's just he gives up 6 runs before he strikes out 3. So is he going to get pulled before he gets to strikeouts or what? Like that's the thing with him. I think he has almost set a record for most runs given up in the first inning through their first 10 starts in a regular season.
No, you bet the under with Hunter Brown.
You like it?
Case.
I like it. Right. Trey, I expect at least one walk prop bet this coming week.
Ooh. All right, hold on.
Not now. Just get your line notebook paper, run your numbers, and let's get that to us this week. I want to see it. Not that I'm not criticizing anybody's picks right now, but I want to. We're due for that walk prop. Nothing better when that thing starts hitting for us too.
Yeah, it's just it's tough, man.
So,
like I said, it is nice that we finally found niches, and we're not just kind of throwing things into the wind. It's like, oh yeah, full line, and let's once you find your niche, though, it is kind of nice. I mean, and I'm not gonna lie, there's been times where I'm like, oh, I gotta go differently. I gotta try something different, and then I'm like, no, you know what? Let's stick with it. Let's do some research.
Okay.
I like that I've been keeping track at least, so I can kind of see where guys are at too. It's been nice.
So right now, I think it's early enough where I'm still able to get by on full game bets with the over-unders, money lines, and I haven't been unsuccessful. But I just looked at the stat props now, and they're still all there's not a lot of variation between them. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
They don't. I look for at least 5 games pitched home and 5 games pitched away. That's what I used as my parameter. Yeah, and that sucks. I know. Maybe I'll drop it to 3.
I guess for July 4th weekend, we'll have a walk prop bet. I guess. Okay.
All right.
Trey? Well, hold on, Trey. What I would do then, Trey? What I would do?
Don't force.
Yeah, don't force. But listen, what I would do then is maybe start to do a couple. You know what I'm saying? Because what I do is I actually run. I'd make more than just what I make our actual pick. There's a couple K props that I throw out, and I watch and kind of see where they're at with stuff. Like I'm making bets just to kind of see where I'm at with things. And
it's just my confidence level in.
So then what I'm saying is maybe start with 3 and see what happens. And if all of a sudden you're getting good numbers, then hey, start to run with it. But if your numbers suck, then go to 5.
The numbers don't suck. The numbers are spot on. It's just all right. We need data to make the numbers accurate. You know what I mean?
I get it. I get it.
I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and then I promise you, once I give the first walk prop, I will be confident in it.
All right, you guys ready? Let's finish this episode out here.
Oh my, yeah, that's right. We still got a little bit left here.
Yeah,
I thought we were ready to close up. Oh my.
No,
goodness.
We are not ready to close up, but we'll knock this out kind of quick here. So what we have here, obviously, we have Kentucky Derby weekend. Kentucky Derby, we do a little bit of research on horses. Please don't take this as expert advice on horses because we are not horse betting experts. That being said, I know, Trey, you and I last year did quite a bit of research. You and I hit actually pretty well on some horse bets. So they're. But
I'm not going to call myself an expert.
No.
I will say I'm an aficionado. I don't know how to aficionado. Aficionado. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. So I've actually taken it. I mean, in last year, when you and I did have the success that we did with horse racing, I did some research in terms of, trainers and in terms of jockeys and things like that. I mean, I've taken it. I don't want to say, next step, but I've gone a little bit further now to even look at like trends with jockeys. And that's kind of what I'm riding on with this one. Some of my picks right now, I'm a little bit frustrated with because initially when I started making my picks, the horse that I was like, oh, got it, was not the favorite. And now that I look at it and see things, he is the favorite.
Tyler, I'm with you. I looked at more than just the trainer and jockey this time as well, which is I looked at their last couple of races, their statistics, what type of grass or surface they ran on. Other horses in the race that are also in this race too, and where they finished. Their trends too. So I would say I did more this year than I did last year.
Looking at I feel too.
Derby, but disclaimer though, still not nearly as confident as the people that bet horses all the time. Like they know what they're doing. Yeah. Go ahead,
I go off of freaking cool names, guys.
That's fair. You know what?
I go off of freaking cool names. I love cool names.
Sometimes less is more. Less is more.
For sure.
I love a particular coat on a horse too, as I will tell you about here in a little.
All right, so just to kind of talk us through what we're going to do here, and again, we're not going to take a ton of time here. So what we are going to do, we're going to pick a winner. We're going to pick a trifecta box. All right, and what that means is if you pick a trifecta means that you're picking the horse that's going to finish first, second, and third. If you pick a trifecta box, that means that you are picking 3 horses and they can all finish anywhere in that top 3 and you can win some money. I know, Trey, I think you're probably going to talk about it, an exacta.
Yeah.
Excuse me. An exacta. An exacta means that you're picking the horse that will win in place, meaning the horse that will get first and second. If you do an exacta box, that means that you're picking 2 horses and either of those 2 can finish either first or second. So what we're going to do, and I think Trey, you and I'll probably.
If you box it, it means they can win at any place. If you don't box it, you have to finish in the place that you think. Right? Is that
correct? Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Right. So what we'll all do is we'll pick a winner. We will pick a trifecta box. All right, and then we'll also pick a surprise winner, where we said the odds have to be 20-1 or more. I think Trey, you might. I don't know. I'm going to share all my picks here because I have a couple bets that I'll put out there just for people to kind of listen. And if you want to tail, great. Horsetail, if you will. If not, it's all cool. But I do have, kind of 5 solid horses that I'm really kind of focused on. So
same.
That's where I'm at. So let's start with our winner on who you guys think will win. So, all right, I will start off. I'm going with the horse that I'm picking is Fierceness. Again, kind of frustrating because he was not the favorite, became the favorite. His trainer is Todd Pletcher, and his jockey is John Velazquez. And if you look at the history of John Velazquez, I believe he has won 3 Kentucky Derbies. Kind of recent, I would say, within the last 10 years. So rather good jockey there. Right now, I believe the odds stand at about 5-2 in terms of the odds. But yeah, Fierceness is my winner. Just because it's not, like I said, I like to put a couple bets out there. I did also put a gamble on Sierra Leone also to be a winner. Little sprinkle on that as well. So that Sierra Leone was my understanding was the favorite initially. But like I said, I'm pretty sure Fierceness is kind of taking that over. So hate that I'm going with a favorite, but you know what though? I'm looking at jockey John Velazquez and he is a winner. So that's my winning bet, Fierceness.
So Trent, do you mind if I go with my winner?
Oh, go ahead.
Tyler, I am taking your second horse that you like. I'm taking Sierra Leone at 3-1 odds. Reason being is they're obviously Fierceness and Sierra Leone are the top 2. From what I was reading is that Sierra Leone it's a younger horse that's gotten drastically improved with all the races it's been a part of. So it's been a part of 3 this will be its 5th race. It's gotten better. And from what I understand is that this extra furlong in the Kentucky Derby is going to only benefit Sierra Leone. So that's looking at it. He's the second favorite horse. Both the trainer and the jockey are looking for their first Kentucky Derby win, so it could be a story in that aspect. But yeah, I'm just going to go with I'm going to go with the hot horse.
Chad Brown is the trainer, and Tyler Gaffleone is the jockey.
Right. Yep. So I don't know. I just think the surface they're running on favors this horse, and like I said, apparently it's just improving, and it's a young horse, so it could be a stud. Who knows?
Diamonds are forever.
Mm-hmm.
Sierra Leone. That's where the whole song with Kanye West. Yeah, sorry.
I didn't know that.
My winner.
Yep. It's your
my winner is Forever Young.
I wanna be.
There he is. I knew I'd get him a swing. But yeah, winner 7-1 odds.
Undefeated horse.
Yep, undefeated. Word is he plans to stay that way. So yeah.
Okay.
Actually, that's not what the horse said at all. But
yeah. So hold on. So what you're saying is that straight from the horse's mouth?
Ooh, I see.
Hey, Trent. Little fun fact about Forever Young, like you said, or I said, both of us, undefeated, hasn't lost a race yet. It would be the first horse to ever win from the country of Japan, country of Japan.
So can I say this, Trent? Trey, and if you don't mind, let me kind of jump in on this. Forever Young is probably the one that I have in the most bets in all of my picks.
There's not a lot known about it, Tyler.
I know there's not, but there's something that this is telling me go with Forever Young. It's 10-1 right now. Like I said, I know we're giving a winner. We're also giving a trifecta box and stuff. I have an exacta box that includes Forever Young, and I also took Forever Young as my win place show a cross bet, meaning that I think that horse will finish first, second, or third. So I put a bet on all 3 of those. So Not a bad pick, Trent, because that's one right there that could show up, could win it, especially at 10-1, and you're going to win some significant coin. So
some coin.
I like it.
Coin.
All right, I'll go in reverse order here and give my win.
Give your surprise. Let's give your surprise next.
Surprise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, give
my surprise is strictly based on I enjoy the color of these types of horses, which is gray. And the only gray horse in the field.
That's like Dave Portnoy.
The only gray horse that is in the race this year is, hold on, we'll make sure I get the direction correct. Yeah, West Saratoga. A gray horse has not been a winner of the Kentucky Derby since 2005 when Giacomo won it. So my money's going on the gray horse.
Okay. Larry Demeriti is the trainer, and Jesus Castagnone is the jockey.
30-1 odds.
Is that what it is at?
That's on FanDuel, yeah.
Okay, because it opened at 50-1. So, which would have been even crazier. That's why I was like looking. I'm like, whoa, dude, you got a 50-1 horse. All right. I see you over there.
All right. So, my surprise winner of the Kentucky Derby is a horse that has raced at Churchill Downs for the last 4 times. Has won 3 of those races. I'm sorry, only one of those races. My bad. But he is a trainer that has experience with the Kentucky Derby and Churchill Downs. So I'm going to go with Honor Marie, 20-1.
Okay. All right. I'm going. I'm going to sound kind of basic, but I'm going with the horse that's right in the 1 slot. At 20-1. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but when I took the bet, it was at 20-1. I'm going with Door Knock, and that's with the trainer is, I know, right? Spelled Dornoch. Danny Gargan is the trainer, and Luis Saez is the jockey. So that's my surprise. I'm sorry, Trey. Honor Marie, their trainers Whit Beckman and jockeys Ben Curtis.
Yes. So I've seen a lot of things about Dornoch.
So have I, and that's why I'm surprised that they're at 20-1 because I've seen it being like a hot, commodity kind of thing.
I saw it hot to start, and now all of a sudden he's dropping out of nowhere.
I've seen that too. I've seen that.
So it makes me think like they know he's like sick or like I don't know. Like the horses are weird. Horses are weird, especially gambling.
Yeah,
they are
big market.
There's a lot,
big
market.
Shit,
dude.
They are
their
own
going on
market,
horses.
Yeah.
Who knows?
All right, so the last one that we'll all give here is going to be a trifecta box. So this is technically just the top 3 horses that you guys have. Again, they can finish in any order. And then I know Trey, I think you'll probably have another bet. I have 2 other ones that I'll just share with everybody just because for fun. Actually, one of them is not even that fun, but one of them is actually the exact same. But so Trent, you want to go or Trey, do you want to go?
I can go.
Oh,
go ahead, Trey.
Trifecta box for me. So no matter what position, I'm gonna go Sierra Leone, my original winner, because I just like them. I think they're gonna compete. I think they're gonna place well. Next one is Catching Freedom at 8-1. Let me see what I got about them. Just, I mean, overall, I think they finished in the Louisiana Derby in first place. Won the last 2 races to qualify for the Kentucky Derby. An experienced trainer and an experienced jockey. So Catching Freedom, Sierra Leone. Last one I'm going is Just a Touch, 10-1. And that is because a Las Vegas bettor put a lot of money on them, I believe. So those guys know something. If you're putting a lot of money on a horse that's 10-1, you got to know something. I'm banking on them finishing in the top 3.
13-1 now.
Okay, even better.
Interesting. Trent, you want to go?
Yeah, mine is Fierceness, Forever Young. They are my winner. And then I just like the name, Catching Freedom.
Okay. So my trifecta box is Fierceness, Just a Touch, and Catching Freedom. So Trey, I think you and I are the only ones that we have differences are winners. That's why I was kind of laughing. I'm like, man.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna place 2 bets on those both those trifectas.
So that's my box. My actual trifecta. I went with this is unboxed. I went first, second,
put
third.
Them in order. Put them in order.
So I got Fierceness 1. I got Just a Touch 2. And then third, I went with Forever Young.
Yeah.
I know it's different than my trifecta box. I understand that. So I like to spread it again. It's I'm not putting my house on these bets like I'm sprinkling. Right. Sprinkling here, sprinkling there, Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So can I tell you all my exact? I have 3 exactas.
Okay, go ahead.
That are
exactas
all
or exacta boxes?
No, they're all boxed.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go Sierra.
I'll probably put more of those bets out tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Sierra Leone and Fierceness. That's gonna be my most hefty bet in terms of money unit wise, because top 2 horses, they finish first and second, whatever place they finish. I just want to win money on that because honestly, more than likely going to happen. The other one that's also boxed is I'm going to take Sierra Leone and Stronghold. A horse from the West, undefeated in the West Coast. Just a matter of can he perform on the surface, the length and everything on the East Coast with the Kentucky Derby trickle down. So another exact I'm going to go is
exacta box.
Exacta box is Sierra Leone and Catching Freedom. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my trifecta and I'm going to exacta second and third with my winner.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. So the exacta box that I have taken already, and again, I'm probably going to put maybe 2 or 3 more out there tomorrow, just as I kind of look at things. But my exacta box that I have right now, I have Just a Touch and Forever Young. Okay. And then I also told you guys that I also have the win place show across, meaning that they can finish anywhere in the top 3. That's with Forever Young. So just to kind of recap stuff in terms of like where you want to do and what you want to do with it. And I think this is just kind of helpful in the sense of what are guts, like what's your gut reaction with stuff. Right. The 5 horses that I'm keeping an eye on for sure: Fierceness, Just a Touch, Catching Freedom, Forever Young, and Sierra Leone. So those are the 5 horses that I'm really kind of watching, and you can do whatever combination you want with those 5 horses. But those are the ones that, in terms of looking at the jockeys, because Trey, you mentioned I think Just a Touch, Florent Giroux is the jockey who's also won recently. Brad Cox is a great trainer, and then even Catching Freedom has, I believe it's Flavion Pratt is the jockey who's also won within the last couple of years, and the jockey is also Brad Cox again. So I don't know. There's certain times where I look at it and it's like, how many horses do you want to pick from the same trainer? And you kind of want to mix it up a little bit, because initially, it's like, oh, it's going to be this, and this, and I'm like, there's 2 horses from the same trainer. I'm like, I don't think that's going to happen. So I liked
all the horses you pick. I read one thing about Fierceness that made me not like it. Like, it made me avoid it in all my bets, actually, except for the one exacta of the 2 favorites, because why not just make money back? But the only thing I didn't like about Fierceness is that they said if that horse doesn't get out to the lead to start, it's done. If it's leading to start the race, it will win the race 100%. That's what they said.
Well, and it's at a very interesting spot too. I believe it's starting at spot 17. So it's going to be
near the end,
right?
like the
that's what I'm saying.
edges.
So so that's kind of
I don't like that.
too.
I don't like that.
No, that's a good input. So that's interesting.
They said
so
if fierceness is leading the race after the first quarter, that horse is going to win. If it's not a chance.
I look at Velazquez. Velazquez has won, I think, 3 derbies out of like the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, just something to pay attention to, but we'll see. Yeah. Hey, anything else, guys?
Nope. Another anticipated short episode that ran pretty long. Sorry about that, guys. That's
almost 2 hours, right? Holy cow.
I swear to God. Our short ones are the longest episodes. That's how it works out. But
Yep. Just always how it is.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Trey sounded a little Scottish there at the end. I swear to God. Our shortest ones are the longest.
All right.
Say shart.
Pretty sure.
Shartest.
Wait, let's
have
a good weekend. And
good weekend.
Let's hope these horses win us some money.
What's your drink of choice? Is it mint julep or is it a margarita? You got the mint julep for the Derby, or you got the margarita for Cinco de Mayo on Sunday?
Oh man,
I'm gonna
go with. Go ahead, Trent.
Margarita. I would go margarita.
I'm gonna go a tequila mint julep.
Dude, I was just gonna say I'm gonna somehow mix it. Yes, Trey.
Yeah.
Like it. I like it. Boom. Hey, I got some Cabo Wabo over here. I might mix with it here.
You also got some Azul.
Oh, I know.
What is it?
Not gonna mix that though. Not gonna mix that though.
What's you?
Azul.
Yeah, too.
All right, guys.
Have a good weekend. Cheers, everybody. Appreciate you guys listening. Have a great weekend.
See you, fellas.